So we are into our first day on the field and about halfway through the first vantage point. Done 5 walk transects and found very, very little. And the reason for that is, as you might be able to see, the whole site has been burnt. So there is no vegetation or very little vegetation. There's a bit of green growing, especially here where I'm sitting right now. But a lot of the walks that I've done were very recently burnt, so that's just black stubs. No leaves on the trees, no grass. That means there's no shelter, there's no food, there's nothing. And it's very overcast. Well, it was. It's busy clearing up right now, which is good. But since 7 o'clock this morning when we started, it was very overcast and very strong cold wind from the southeaster. And yeah, that means very little birds. So not much to report, except that when I sat down here to do my first vantage point, I saw a pair of common skimmertables, which is awesome. It's a bird you very seldom ever see. So when you do see something, it's good. So we'll sit here for another half an hour, and then I think we're probably going to do another one before we go for lunch. And we're going to go back to yesterday's place, which I didn't tell you. I had a piece of veal and a very nice salad. Well, when I say very nice, it's very nice for Namaacha. Not quite what we are used to in Franschhoek. But for this area, it was lovely. I actually bought my own tomatoes on the way here because at the hotel where we normally eat, their salad consists of 99% very horrible hard lettuce. Okay, let me say 95% very horrible hard lettuce, 4% onion rings, and 1% as in one little slice of tomato, and it's usually a green tomato. And there's a beautiful market on the way from Boana to us. Very, very nice market with loads of fresh fruit and vegetables. It's not far. This hotel really could make the effort and drive 20 minutes to the market and go and buy some fresh stuff, but they don't do that. So we bought some tomatoes for ourselves. And then we discovered that this other little restaurant in the village, it's called Checkers. We've eaten there before and it was very nice. Well, very nice. You know what I mean when I say very nice, okay? It was a T-bone last time. It's super thin, ultra thinly cut, so they fry it too crispy. But the flavor is good. We're not talking about our kind of T-bones, eh? We're not talking about nice, thick, juicy steak. We're talking about a like biltong. And but the flavor is good. So we went there yesterday because apparently they'd cleaned it up and built some extra walls, which now makes it into an enclosed space where before it was kind of a veranda. So yes, it now indeed has walls and a window. And now you're sitting inside and it's a bit dark and gloomy. It was better when it was just a veranda. But anyway, the veal was 112 metakais for the piece of meat. You choose your meat out the freezer and then they cook it for you. They weigh it and they charge you accordingly. And then they'll cook it for you. It's actually bride, so they braai it for you. And yeah, mine cost 112 metakais, which is just over 25 rand. It's about 26 rand for that piece of meat. And then the salad we shared, it was 40 metakais, which is 10 rand for the salad, so I paid 5 rand. And then I had a dry, no, I didn't. They didn't have dry lemon. I had a tonic water. And that was also 40 metakais, which is quite expensive because Jose's Coke was only 20 metakais. Same can of cool drink, same size. So I would have paid 10 rand for my tonic water, and he paid 5 rand for his Coke. Yeah, and that was it. That was all we had, and I had to pay the grand total of about 50 rand for that in total. So that was okay, no problem. And yeah, so today we're going to go back. Hopefully I'll get some T-bone. They were out of T-bone because they'd had this massive party. Maybe the same people who stayed at our place the night before, and they'd sold out of T-bone. They also have pork, and they have a thing called wors. And it is wors. It's our wors. It's boerewors, and they call it wors. But on the menu it's spelled V-O-R-C-E. That's their version of the word wors. And my partner here, Jose, loves it, so he eats it all the time. And he had that yesterday. Half a kilo of wors cost him 226 metakais. So that's just over 50 rand for half a kilo of wors. Bit expensive, I suppose, in that sense. but my piece of veal was cheap. So I went to buy milk yesterday as well. I didn't buy milk before I got here, so we stopped on the way and I bought a litre of boxed milk. It's Clover, and I paid a lot more, well not a lot more, but quite a bit more than I do in Franschhoek. In Franschhoek I pay about 12 Rand for a litre of milk, and here I paid 18 Rand. But it's imported from South Africa, so I suppose I'll give them that. So yeah, not much going on in the field. Looking for birds, but there ain't any.